Hey my comrades, as I said back at the end of my FNaF World Adventure playthrough, I'm going to show you all the sub-games here. Now, in terms of gameplay, there isn't anything groundbreaking here. If you played these sub-games back at FNaF World Update 2, you'll get the same experience here. However, there are some minor differences that we'll cover. First up is Freddy in Space. Gameplay-wise, is nothing special. You play as Freddy Fazbear going around fighting bad guys in space. Just like the original sub-game, you can collect special cupcakes that will upgrade your laser gun, but they're hidden inside walls, so you gotta keep an eye out for them. The only thing that's different in Adventure's version of Freddy in Space is the level layout, Freddy having some Click Team graphics all over him, and that there's multiple bosses to deal with. We have the Scott Cawthon head from the original game, Algo from the Desolate Hope, some kind of big enemy from Desolate Hope that's called a Halobot, apparently, and lastly, Pulsar from Desolate Hope. After beating Pulsar, Freddy is seen floating in space, possibly dead from the explosion. You know, I've thought of something. Back in my FNaF World Adventure playthrough, Fredbear said that Freddy isn't coming back, and then at the end of the game, there's a grave with Freddy's name on it. Is this sub-game the reason why Freddy didn't come back? He must have went to space to sacrifice himself to save everyone from some alien threat. That's sad. Okay, to lighten up the mood, time to talk about Adventure's version of Foxy Fighters. Just like the previous sub-game, this one isn't all that different compared to the original sub-game. The only thing that's different here is that Foxy's team doesn't have voice actors, and that there are several bosses to fight. There's a giant Proud Boy, a redrawn version of Monster from Fire Mage Bard, a giant brown withered animatronic that doesn't seem to have a name, and last but not least, Souldozer. For anyone who wants to try this sub-game out, here's a tip. Always go for the red power-up. It shreds through the health of the enemies and the bosses. Overall, these two sub-games were alright, just not that different compared to the original versions. I could close the book on this whole series about FNaF World Adventure, but there is one more thing to check out. A special version of the game that was released not too long ago, and I'll show it to you in another video. Stay tuned for that.